Hi there, it's Donna from Taffy Crafting, and I've got a card with a bit of no name really. I don't really know what to call this. I've made one similar, I don't know, maybe a year or so ago, although I can't find the original card, but it was quite plain, and I really wanted to have another go at this, and I just saw it pop up on my kind of Pinterest feed, and it just reminded me of the one that I'd made some time ago. So here it is, and what's special about this one is that when you open it, it opens out like that. Now the measurements of this is that it's 4 inches by 6 inches. So to make this, you do need 12 by 12 card. There may be a way of making this where you're putting two pieces of card together so that you only need to use A4 card, but this worked. And I don't have a lot of 12 by 12 cards, so I was very careful in choosing what I was going to do. So what I've used a whole load of different stuff here. I've got Melon Mambo cardstock. So I had one piece of that I've sliced in half. So the other half is over there. So I'm going to use the other half of that. I've got a bit of scrap. Oh no, actually, whatever I cut out there, I then use for there. So there's no waste with that. I've got some white, basic white card in the middle, and I've used the wildflower what's that called? Wildflower Path, the happy birthday, because I just love that sentiment. It's got a bit of dirt on there. I've used the leaves from True Beauty. I've used this sentiment from Hello Ladybug. I've got some polished gems here. And then I'm using the Hues of Happiness designer series paper. So you could use whatever you want. I've used the layering circles dies. So there's all sorts of things that you can use for this. But you will need 12 by 12 cardstock. So without further ado, let me show you how I made it. So I had, like I said, I had a piece of 12 by 12 cardstock, which I sliced in half on one side. So I used one bit for that, and I'm using another bit for that. If anybody knows what the name of this is, it's almost like an aperture card. It's a window card. You fill the window. I don't know. Call it what you like. And so this measures 6 inches by 12 inches. And you can use a scoreboard, which I'm going to use now, or you could use your paper trimmer. It really doesn't matter. And we just need a few score lines. So we're going to score at 4 inches. You're going to score at 8 inches. And you're going to score at 10 inches, and that's it. That's your only scoring. So this first one here at 4 inches, fold that inwards and give it a good burnish. For this card to fold nicely, these score lines need to be really well burnished. Okay. This one you'll fold inwards and a good burnish. And then this one you'll fold outwards like that. But I'm just going to burnish it that way rather than burnish it onto the card. Like that. So that's what you're left with. That folds in there like that, and that folds over like that. So what you get is two valleys and a mountain, if you want to describe it like that. So the first thing I'm going to do is let's deal with the front. And the reason this is 6 inches is that in order to get this to die cut a circle, you could do a square if you wanted to. It will work well with a square, a rectangle, a heart, but I'm going to use a circle. And you need 3 colour circles, and the maximum width of this, unless you have a very wide die cutting machine, can really only be 6. So I've got 2 circle dies. I did have a third, there's a third. You need 3. So this one is going to be used to cut out your DSP. This one will be used to cut out your card, and this one will be used to decorate your front circle, your inside circle. So I'm going to put that one to one side so I don't get these mixed up. I'm going to put the big one to one side, and I'm going to take this one. And then what I'm going to do, and do it off camera, because when I die cut, the whole desk shakes. And so what I'm going to do is go back to what our card looks like here, like that. And I'm going to put that, open the card up. This is on the front, and I'm going to die cut that there. Now, you can choose to put it in the middle. I'm going for the top. I don't know why, it's just a preference, but try and get it as close to the middle as you possibly can. You can have a little measure. I'm super lazy and I don't. So I'm just going to very quickly off camera just die cut that. So that was with the middle sized die. I've used the scallop ones. You could use the plain edge ones if you want. And so that gives us that. Now, so just put that to one side for a moment. At this point now, you choose your designer series paper. So I'm still using the Hues of Happiness because we've got some lovely pink flowers in here. But I'm going to try and cut out this bit at the bottom here because it's got more pink in there. So I'm going to be careful with cutting this. So the height of this needs to be 5 7/8. I won't use that bit because it's not got a lot of pink, and I want to take this side that's got the most pink, and this will measure 3 7/8. All of the measurements will be on my blog post. There's a link to that in the description bar. So 3 7/8 by 5 7/8. And what we're going to do is, in a minute, we're going to stick that on there, but I need a hole. So we need to think, well, how are we going to do that? I need to make sure that that is exactly around, perfectly around the other circle, which we can't see. So as far as I was concerned, the easiest way of doing that was to put that there. And actually, I'm going to see if this works with a post-it note. To make sure it was, when I did my other one, it moved. So just to make sure that doesn't move, I'm just going to put that post-it note there. Gosh, these colours clash. And then turn it over. And then with a pencil, I'm just going to, you won't see this, so I'm just going to draw around that. Oh dear. Can rub out those lines. Take that off. And then with the bigger circle, I'm just going to put that around that so that it's even. And then I'm going to run that through the die cutting machine. So that was the larger circle that we did that with. So if we go back to our card here, and then that is going to sit on there like that. And if you've been nice and accurate, that should sit quite nicely. And what that's done is nicely cover up this little bit of a bend that I had in my card. So I'm just going to put that on there. So let's get some glue and stick that on. So I'm using liquid glue for this. And I've just been falling out with my glue all day. I don't know why it just gums up so quickly. And then with this liquid glue, it means that we can put this on here and we have got just a few seconds to have a little bit of a wiggle and get it right where we want it. And I get my bone folder out at this point and I just and I think the last time I made this, I think I had, before I'd cut out the circle, I'd stuck the DSP down and just did one circle. I could have been a little bit more accurate there. So I just wanted to have a border. I just think it looks nicer, despite the fact I've got more room there than I've got there. Let's turn that around so we can't see it for now. Okay. Now, with the little bit of card that we, DSP that we had left, now I don't think I've got enough. No, I haven't got enough to do two sides there. So I'm going to pick up this other bit of DSP that I had, and it needs to be 5 7/8 tall. I hope that fits. It does, thank goodness. And what we'll do is we'll do this one at 1 7/8, and then just move that along, and that one at 1 7/8. So that means when I put these on the card, that pattern continues. Sometimes we can't do that if we're using scraps, but it's nice to be able to do that. Just gives a little extra bit of interest to the card. So we're going to stick those down there like that. And then in a moment I need to get some card for the middle, some white card. And that's where I'm going to put my sentiment. And this one I'm going to decorate just in exactly the same way as I did the other one. It's getting late in the day and I don't have the brain power to start thinking of extra designs. I'm on my third project of the day to take me into the following week. So I've got 3 projects all ready to go on my blog, 2 to go on YouTube, so that I can then start preparing for the following week. So there we are, we've got that on there. So if we come back to this, we need that, and we need some white card to decorate the middle and a little bit of white card to decorate on here as well. So I've got some scrap of white, which I will die cut my smallest circle out of. And then I've had to get a fresh sheet to do the middle. Now this piece for the inside sentiment needs to be 3 7/8. By 5 7/8. And before I stick it down, I'm going to decorate it. This is basic white, it feels really thick. So I'm going to go back to the Wildflower Path. I just love the font on this, absolutely love it. And at the moment, it's probably my most used stamp. Just use it all the time. And I'm going to stamp this in Night of Navy. It's so used that it's kind of lost a bit of its stick. Right, where's my Night of Navy ink? There it is. This card goes together really quickly. I can't believe I'm looking at the clock now and it says 13 minutes and I talked for the first 2. And I haven't pre-prepared anything. So there's the happy birthday sentiment bang in the middle. Obviously you can decorate the inside as much as you like. And I think just to mix it up a little bit, so I have got 2 that are different, I'm going to take the Melon Mambo ink and I'm going to use, I think I'm going to use this flower. Just because. Let's put that on my block. Yeah, so just while I'm sorting this out, this project is part of Fun Fold Friday. So I did this throughout May and I wanted to continue it throughout June as well. I don't know if Crafty Karen Designs and Vicky Lou Designs will be carrying on. They may do, they might dip in and out, but I did want to continue this during June. So I want to put, where do I want to put this flower? I think I'm going to put it there because normally we put a name here and then some message there. So I'm going to stick a nice big flower there. It's a totally in-your-face flower. Just testing, that's it. And what I like about this is that it's from the Awash in Beauty suite and it has got a little bit of a washed out effect to it, which I quite like. I really want to do that there, but it just means that we're taking up too much room. So I'm going to refrain from that. Just put that on there. Let's close that up before I stick my finger in it. And then let's stick that into the middle of my card and then that can dry off while I'm dealing with the last bit. So just to make sure that I've got everything where it should be. So I'm going to stick that in there like that. So yeah, this is part of Fun Fold Friday. I've really enjoyed doing these because I love a fun fold. So this might be the first time you've come across my channel. And if that's the case and you like paper crafting tutorials, I don't go super quick. I take my time on explaining things so that you can stop and start the video and craft along with me. There's always a blog post that goes with it with all the measurements and all the product details. And also on the blog post is a link to a Facebook group called Craft and Banter, which I co-admin with Crafty Karen Designs and Vicky Lou Designs. And we just share what we've made along with all of the other almost 500 members of that group. So if you'd like to join, click on the link that's in the description bar, go to my blog and click on the Craft and Banter link. It doesn't matter what part of the world you come from. That's the nice thing about it. Okay, so we've got that. So we're almost done, almost. So we've got this, and in a minute that's going to stick on there so that when we close it, it sits in there. But we need something else that goes with it. So I want to pick out now the smaller die. Just want to make sure I've got that the right size. Yep, so that's the smaller one, and I'm just going to very quickly die cut that. And as if by magic, there we are, we have that. Now, the last sentiment that I'm going to use in Melon Mambo is from the Hello Ladybug stamp set. Here it is. I'm going to be using this soon because I've got the punch that goes with it. Such a lot of fun this is. And I'm going to be using this, May Your Greatest Wish Come True. And the reason I'm using that is because it fits nicely in there. Pure and simple. I couldn't find anything else. I was looking for a friend sentiment, and it wasn't a wash in beauty. Oh, sorry, True Beauty. That has this. You are a true friend, but it didn't really fit the front. It wasn't quite what I was after. I wouldn't normally say to people, "May your greatest wish come true," but it fits nicely in my circle, so I'm going with that. There we are. I might actually get this done in the 20 minutes. Always try and aim for that. So there's my Melon Mambo die cut. There's my white die cut. And I'm going to... What did I do with those? I had some mini stamping dimensionals. There they are. They were hiding. And I also had some tweezers. So now I won't be able to do this in the 20 minutes because I can't find anything. I'll have a nice tidy up in a minute. I tidied up my craft room 2 weeks ago and I've been really good and I've kept it tidy. And then my tidying then spilled over into the rest of the house. So the only untidy room in the house is my husband's office, and it can stay like that for all I care. He's responsible for tidying that up, not me. So I've got a nice tidy craft room, not that it is at the moment. And the spare rooms in my house have been tidied and sorted out as well because all the children have left home, left me and my husband on our own. I've got these gems. Now, I can't remember what they're called, but they're so pretty. So pretty. There'll be a link to them in my blog post so that you can see what they are. But at this moment in time, it's completely left my brain as to what they're called. There's some sort of gem. They're so pretty. Anyway, let's get the card. Let's finish this off at almost 20 minutes. So we're just going to put that there, and I'm just going to see roughly where that sits because we want to get that as absolutely near as we possibly can. So I kind of get a bit of an idea where it's sitting on there, and I'm going to put some glue just on the back half here. Not on the back half, on this half of the back. So if you've enjoyed this video, please leave me a comment. I answer eventually all comments. Sometimes it can take a fair few weeks, but I do eventually answer all comments. So please leave a comment. Please tell me what you think. Look at that. That's what I love about the scallop. It can just sit in there and it fits. Let's lift that up. Whoa. Just make sure that that's on there and it's dry. So when that closes over like that, it fits. That's what I love about this card. You might want to do another little bit of burnishing if you want to. I'm quite happy with how that's sitting. So it's a fun fold with the name that I can't even think of. And what does that matter? It's, I don't know. But I really love the effect that that has. I hope that inspires you to have a go at it. I'll leave all the measurements in my blog so that you can have a go and just match up your cardstock with your designer series paper, or maybe if you haven't got the designer series paper that you wanted, then stamp some cardstock. But I hope you like it, and I will be back again. I don't know when, in the next few days with another project, and I look forward to seeing you then. Bye bye.